We're filming. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Dave's Pet Show. I'm standing here with young Matthew.
Hello.
Hello. Nice shirt, Matthew.
Thank you. Isn't that sharp?
It is very cool.
Washed it and everything.
Very cool. What does it say on here?
Oh, it says
Eukanuba Platinum?
and it says Dave's Soda and Pets Food City.
No, it says Dave's Soda and Pet City.
Oh yeah, I never knew that.
Right.
Learn something new every day.
All right. Anyway, Matt's a rookie. Yeah, how long you been working here? Matt's a rookie. So anyway, we're in the height of fish season.
Fish season.
Everyone says is our business seasonal. Fish, we're in the season.
We're in the season for the indoor fish season.
Right, and you're all excited because you got some new plants. Is that what you got?
Yes. First thing.
Yes.
I'm going to pull up some plants. We have a whole lot load of different aquatic plants. Lot load. Lots and lots and lots and lots of plants.
Big lot or is it small?
Oh, this is a big lot we've got.
Yeah.
So we have.
Boy, this is exciting.
Plants.
You know what, folks? Seriously, if you have nothing to do, you can stay home and watch the plants grow.
You can watch plants grow. There are people who like this stuff. Really.
Why?
Why? Okay, first of all, you have.
Yes.
They're affordable. Okay, you are only paying $2.99 each for these guys.
Yeah.
You can get 4 of them for $8.99.
Yeah.
4 of these will spread and fill up a 10-gallon tank nicely. What these, like I said, they're live. What these guys actually do for your tank, 1, they're beautiful. 2, they actually help reduce nitrous waste in the tank.
Yeah.
So if you got a lot of it growing in your tank, it'll absorb a lot of the droppings and things like that.
Oh, so how about the ammonia?
It'll help break down.
Helps
give a little more oxygen in the tank.
Yeah.
Also, it actually spreads out, grows, gives you a nice display, gives shelter for the fish. A lot of the fish like to eat them, like to actually nibble on them. That'll give the fish good color.
Vegetarian nibbles.
Exactly. So there are all different kinds. You have, this is a Brazilian sword. I'll let you hold that one there. And you can see he's got a nice big broad leaf. Nice broad, so he'll actually spread out and grow. You'll get a nice little plant like that. Will be up good 1.5 to 2 feet.
Do they have flowers?
These don't have flowers, but they do actually have the big broad leaves. So if you have a lot of big tall plants in the back of the tank and put a bunch of smaller stuff in the front, you can make almost like a river scene. So it's
cool.
Really pretty. When you're comparing, when you're comparing them in the price to some of the artificial stuff like that, you're getting a really good bargain.
How long do these last, Matt?
Under good care, they can go years. They can actually go years. Yes, under good care.
For $3?
For $3, they can go well. A lot of people actually start off plants and they end up spreading all over your tank.
Oh.
So you can actually end up with a hobby within a hobby.
Right.
Growing these guys. So
all kidding aside, the real thing with these things is that they help keep your fish alive.
They help. Yes, it's a natural part of their environment. It is a natural part of the environment. They've done a lot of tests where they've actually set up tanks with one tank with plants, another tank without plants, and then the exact same water parameters. The fish in the tank with the plants always flourished, grew faster, produced more offspring, lasted longer. Okay. So it's actually pretty beneficial to have these in the tank.
You got all kinds of different fish in there.
And then
we buy these from the guy in Florida?
Yep, these are all coming up from Florida.
Yeah.
These come up from Florida, so we actually have these all year round. They're produced all year round.
Yeah.
We've got some more. This is a little another little sword plant. This is a pond penny right here.
Pond penny?
Pond penny. You can actually see how broad the leaves are.
Yeah.
Okay, we like to bring in a lot of the ones with the tougher leaves because they tend to be a little bit more durable. Some of the more ferny stuff actually gets, a lot of fish will actually break them up after time.
Okay.
To keep your plants alive, to keep them healthy and keep them in good shape.
Yes.
One, if you keep your water conditions good, you do your routine maintenance. There's also plant food that you can put in the tank.
Okay.
This is actually iron and magnesium. That'll actually help them grow. You just add that to the water, as is this right here. So you can put it directly in.
I'm surprised Scott's hasn't come out with something.
Scott hasn't. Well, it's fertilizer basically. It's safe in the water.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then there's also
Don't cough on the plant.
I won't cough on the plants. I don't want to kill them all. We also have little canisters that create CO2, carbon dioxide, because that's what they actually feed off on.
Yeah.
That was a close call. Little collision there. We almost took out the cameraman.
Listen, I don't want to say anything. Do you notice there's a camera there?
I saw the look of fear on his eyes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyway, but actually there is CO2
We almost got
canisters.
run over.
We almost got killed right there. I just saw that huge thing coming right at me. I was like, oh, she's going to be mortified for life now. But anyway, so it's, we do have all the stuff that's
So wait a
available.
minute.
So you
Now
can
you put this in.
put that in.
Both of these, or just one of them?
You can do one or the other, or you can do both.
Or you can do. You really don't need them if your water's
Right.
good, though, right?
Yeah, if your water is good, you don't need them. It's just if you want to really get a good growth and you want
Yeah.
to really have them expand, that actually will help.
Yeah.
And sometimes certain water, because of the filter in the tank, sometimes the filter takes the trace elements out of the water that the plants need. So you want to add it back in.
All right.
So that's why that comes in handy.
So Matt, do you have to plant these?
Yes.
Get it?
Yes, you actually have
Get
to
it?
plant
I
these.
said get it?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. That was very, very, very,
Okay.
very quick. These are plantable.
Yes.
Big mistake people make with these when they buy them from a store.
Huge mistake.
Okay, well actually it is a huge mistake, huge, huge, huge. They plant them with the lead band on. You want to take your lead band off
Yeah.
because that'll actually, this is just temporary to hold everything together. You want to take your lead band off, dig a hole in your gravel, put the roots in, the base of the plants in, and then push the gravel over. That way it holds in place. You don't want to just take them clamped together and jam them in because you'll
So
ruin
take
the
the clamp off.
Take the clamp off and don't jam the stems in because
Why
you'll
don't they
ruin
just
the
put a
stems.
rubber band on it or something?
Too hard, I'll tear them up. Tear
Oh.
'em out. This is just easy. Also
All right.
weights it down so it holds it into the bottoms for just so
Okay.
it doesn't float in the tank.
So are any of these plants floating plants?
Most of these are plantable. You can float some plants.
Yeah.
The only problem with some floating plants is they'll tangle in your filter.
Oh, okay,
They'll
that
actually
makes
jam
sense.
up in your filter.
Right.
But like I said, see how you have these big roots right
Roots,
here?
yeah.
Just dig the just dig a hole in the gravel. Dig a hole. Take
And
like a
regular
planter.
gravel, not
Aquarium-
even
you
not
can
even
use aquarium
soil.
gravel. Yeah, just plain aquarium gravel. We
Yeah.
also have gravel that is actually floral based.
Yeah.
That has nutrients right in, so you can grow your plants.
Yeah.
Just dig a hole in the gravel, put the root in, push the gravel back over, and anchor it right down,
Okay.
and they should be fine. You need a good amount of light, so you want to have a good, decent lighting system for your tank.
Which you should have anyway, right?
Yeah, a good fluorescent light will come in handy. There are growth lights that you can use, but
Yep.
as long as you're giving a good 8 to 10 hours of light a day, they'll thrive for you.
Okay.
They'll thrive. So it's a fun little side hobby you can do in your tank.
All right. Mr. Joe says our time is up. So, are you all right?
I'm dying.
You going to make it to
Yep.
next week?
I will make it till next week. I have
All right.
no choice.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be back in just a minute.
Dave Soda, Pet Food City, yeah.
Hey, everybody. We're back, and I'm with Mark. Mark works for one of my favorite companies, Natural Balance, which was started by Dick Van Patten,
1989.
1989, who I have to tell you, he's getting older now.
He is. He is.
And a few years ago, he was here. He was in the store.
Yep.
Because he used to do that a lot. He used to go travel
Yes, he
around
did.
to the retailers. And I'm not going to say that he was senile, but he walked around the store, kept asking like 15 times, "Hi, you want my autograph?" "Hi, you want my autograph?"
Did you take it?
No, I didn't. A couple of the girls got it because they felt bad for the guy. It was like, oh my. But meanwhile, he and his team, he's not really a pet food guy, but they came out with some great foods.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
And Mark is in the store doing demos and stuff. So what makes Natural Balance different than, or better, or whatever from many other foods?
Well, the first thing I would like to say with Natural Balance is we're really focused on dogs with allergies. And Dick Van Patten first created a product. It was our duck and potato. Now, the duck and potato is what they call a limited ingredient diet. And what that is they take kind of all the fluff out of the food,
Yeah.
and they put just your proteins, your vegetables, and minerals, and they kind of take out the different products, the wheats and the glutens, because we are
Yeah.
grain-free, that may affect a dog with allergies. So he started really for the allergy formulas to help dogs that have allergies. And what we're seeing is now that the designer dogs type things, where there's a lot of breeding or mixing in different types of dogs, all those issues from separate breeds are being brought into one dog. So dogs are developing more allergies than never seen before. As you know, with you've seen it also with
Right.
your food.
Right.
So the allergy formulas are really where we're focused.
Right.
and the duck and potatoes are number one.
That's the number one. By
Correct,
far.
correct.
Right.
We've now come out with we have a fish, we have a bison, we have a
Yep.
venison, we have a chicken,
Yep.
all in the living ingredient line. And that's unique for us because a lot of the different food companies, which have great products, don't offer the variety that
Right.
we offer.
Right.
And what's nice with our formulas, which I have not seen with other companies, is, as you can see, we have a dry food right here,
Yep.
which is our duck and potato.
Yep. I'll hold it.
If the dog is really working well on it, we can offer it as a wet food also and not be deviating from the ingredient list.
Right.
The third thing is, if you still want to give a snack and your dog's on allergies, you end up buying some other product. It may
Which
have something else in
completely
it.
kills
the reason
Right.
why you're doing
Right.
so well.
Right.
So what Dick Van Patten did, he goes, we need to stay so we can offer everything.
Right.
So we actually offer the same flavor
Right.
in our snacks. So now you can stay in there and not,
Right.
you know, because everyone wants to give a treat to a dog.
Sweet potato
A
and
sweet
venison.
potato and venison.
Right.
So we can stay in that line, and a lot of folks like that because they love giving dogs treats.
Right.
But a lot of times they wouldn't think about the treat, and now their allergies are kicking back up, and they're not sure why.
The biggest problem that we have as the retailer is customers walk in, so we spend 20 minutes convincing them, or not convincing them, but going through all the foods
Right.
and say, okay, use the duck and sweet potato or venison, whichever one they want to use,
Yep.
and then they buy milk bones, or they buy
Right,
something
right.
that just completely undoes
What
and
you're
then
trying
they
to do
come
with the
back and
food.
say, it
It
didn't
didn't work. It didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the one thing we really struggle with is they buy the food or they'll be
Right.
on another food and it's doing pretty good for the dog.
Right.
Because there's a lot of other formulas out there
Right.
that may work. It may not be our product, maybe
Right.
it's your product. But then they go to the snacks or they go to the wet food,
Right.
which is completely different again.
Right.
And what happens is the dog now they're struggling with changing the food every 2 weeks because it's not working.
So
And-
let me just. Mark is a very good guy, and he's very humble about the company. These guys really invented the whole. You started the whole limited
ingredient and the allergy formula.
the allergy formula.
Yes, we
right.
did.
And if you ever come in the store, and Mark is in the store, you can tell he's a very low key guy. There are other formulas, different companies. They're good foods, but these guys really, they're the innovators. They're the.
We started the whole wave.
Right, and this is really important. The food is reasonably expensive.
Yes.
And the reason that it's reasonably expensive, and I know this now because I manufacture my own food, is the ingredients are insane.
Yes.
And you wouldn't think about this, but there is a lamb shortage. You can't get venison. I mean, you guys must have locked up the and you know why you can't get venison? Because all the venison comes from New Zealand.
Correct.
None of it's here, right? So it's not the roadkill you see that they take and they put into the food. So what happened was there were so many deer, the price of venison a couple years ago, the bottom fell out of the market. The price of venison went down, so they slaughtered the deer.
Right.
Well, then all of a sudden, people realized that venison is a great source of protein. It's low in this and low in that. The demand for venison skyrockets.
Unique protein
There's
source.
no venison because they killed the
Except for
herds.
us.
So now they have to build back up the herds,
Yep.
right? Same thing.
Right.
So it's the same deal with bison. It's
Yep.
the same deal with duck.
Yeah, all our unique proteins.
All
and we're
unique
fortunate
proteins.
because
Right.
Dick Van Patten and with his company he went out and contracted
Right.
farmers like in
Right.
New Zealand said,
Right.
we'll buy from you. We know how you raise your food. We're very strict on his sourcing.
Yeah.
And like some of the other companies, one of the great things with Natural Balance is there's a code on every bag.
Yeah.
You can go to the website and type in that code, and it'll tell you all the product sourcing and the testing
Right.
all the way through, which, it's great to know that a company is so geared towards showing the consumer
Right.
where it's been tested and what's been tested for all the way up, because, with all the different recalls that happen in the pet food world over the years, it's nice to know you have a guaranteed product.
Right.
So we're lucky to have the venison because we're contracting from a farmer who can't sell to anybody else like you.
So now, I mean, I just can't
Right.
get it. You can't, and now there's a shortage of lamb meal. There's a shortage of all these proteins. The canned food is, for me, and I think, I don't know, I'll get your opinion. I think more and more people are going to start using canned food, hopefully, because it's a great way to keep weight off dogs.
Yes, and we're seeing a volume increase with the canned
Right.
food. I don't know why, but pet owners for a long time thought that wet food was actually going to make their dogs heavier.
Yeah.
And it's like,
the
oh, I don't want to
opposite.
give wet food. I don't want to give
Right.
wet food. It's really just the opposite.
opposite.
And you get a better moisture content. You get a
Right.
little bit more water source into it, and you get a good protein source. You know, and like you make it 98%. Sometimes if you just need protein, it's a great way to go without the dry food product.
So let me explain. I think we might run a little bit longer than this because this is a good one. You may, I don't care whose can you buy. I don't care if it's Natural Balance, if it's Dave's, if it's Wellness. I don't care whose it is. It's 76 to 78% moisture. So if you took all the moisture, so what happens is you give your dog a can of this, it's a huge amount of moisture.
Correct.
So if you cut down the dry and you add cans, the dogs take in fewer calories. It's just
Science.
science.
Right.
Right. So people say, oh, I don't want to give, it's going to get my dog fat. It's the other way around. There's more calories in the dry food than there is in the canned
Yes.
food. So now tell me how, if my dog has, we figure out my dog has food allergies and we have to go to a vet and get tested, right? You got to do
Right.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yep.
And it ain't cheap,
It's-
right?
yes,
And then I come and why do I want to go to something like a duck or a venison? Why can't I just go with a chicken or whatever?
As you know, chicken and the beef,
Yeah.
they're the highest proteins for allergies because they've been in the market for so long. That was the original two food sources
Right.
in dog foods. And animals have developed the allergies to those proteins. So the big thing with going into allergies is you have to find unique proteins that animals have not got accustomed to and built a tolerance to. And that's why you're seeing the venisons, the bisons, the duck, which are all lean proteins, so you're taking the fat out of it, but yet you're getting good proteins. That has to be the way it is with the
Right.
with the proteins.
Right. Now, last week on the show we had Lindy from Nutriska from Dogswell.
Yes.
So Nutriska has the no potato.
Correct.
Right. So it's the lower glycemic index.
Right.
So I think it's very important that when you look at a bag of because anyone who was watching the show last week, and there were millions of people, I think 4.3 million people was the Nielsen report watched. People.
Yep.
That's a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
I think I just made that up. But anyway, you guys don't use regular potato.
We use sweet potato.
And what's the difference?
Sweet potato
Is yellow, is orange.
Yeah,
What's the
besides
difference?
being orange,
Right.
it's one of the superfoods because
Right.
it's got all the antioxidants. It's got all the better stuff in it than a potato, better
Right.
carbohydrate.
Right.
So
right.
it's easily digestible, but it's good for the dog.
Right.
Healthy skin. It just has a lot of better nutrition in it.
Right. And guess what, folks? There is a shortage of American-grown sweet potatoes. Can you believe it?
Yes, because everyone's starting to realize the nutritional value of a sweet potato. They're starting to put it into their foods. So you're
Right.
starting to see a lot more companies coming out with it.
Right.
But again, we were one of the innovators of using sweet potato, so we have a better market. We have better contacts. We're able to get it without losing our food source.
Right, right. Because yours truly wanted a sweet potato, and I called a couple. In the whole country, there are 6 plants that make pet food.
Something like that, yeah.
In the whole country, right? And they make for everybody.
Yep.
So these guys will go to them and say, "Here's my formula. I'm going to put my quality guy in there. Here's my ingredients. Blah blah blah." But then after they make his, they clean the machines, and they may make mine, or they may make
Right.
somebody else's.
Yep.
Right? It's in the whole country. It's pretty scary, actually.
Yeah, and there's a brand new facility that was just built in South Carolina, and that's where our food product is made.
Ah. Okay. So yours is made on the East Coast in
That's
South
correct.
Carolina, and then you have another plant
On the West Coast.
On the West
Yep.
Coast, which is great for shipping.
Right, for shipping. We don't have to go right across, split the United States in half,
Right.
and our product stays fresher.
Right, right. How long is the shelf life on a bag of dry food?
1 year.
Which
1
is-
year.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not using the food in 1 year, it's,
Correct, correct. I know a lot of the standard, I believe, was 18 months.
Yeah.
And I think you're starting to see it now. Everyone's kind of going to the 1 year.
As they
with
put more
different
and more
products.
natural
Correct.
stuff into it,
Right.
and fewer chemicals.
Yep.
Now, why I like the canned food is because the shelf life is like 9,000 years. Right?
I think it's different with a pop top. I'm not sure.
Oh.
we don't do pop tops.
You don't do. Oh, right. Right,
'cause
right,
I think
right,
it
right,
seals
right.
a little better. You
Right.
get better.
It's interesting you don't do a pop top.
I think in manufacturing, I think is probably more money.
It is more
So,
money.
I mean, we're
on
trying
some
to keep
of
the
ours
price
we
down.
have pop tops.
Yeah.
It's my cost is 2 cents a can.
Yeah. So
it's
it does
20
help with the cost a little bit because, as you
Right.
know, with our product line and our ingredient list, we're already on the high end anyway. So
Right.
and I think it stores better.
Right. That I don't know. So let's talk about. We always
Our cat.
Yes.
Our cat food. Just again, limited ingredient diet,
Yep.
just like in the dog food.
Yep.
Really for the same reasons. Cats, the hair balls, the different allergies they develop. We really put a lot of omegas in it, as you've probably talked about in the past. Really help with the skin and coat, so when they're licking themselves, the hair stays where it should be, which is on the skin and not in their stomach.
Right.
So it really helps with the hair balls. So that's why we have a limited ingredient line. Same with cats.
Yeah.
We have the salmon, we have a duck and potato,
Yeah.
with green pea and duck, and we have a chicken. And the last thing we just came out with is our alpha line.
Oh, right. That's new.
That's new for us.
Right.
And it's a 3 protein instead of 1, which is like the salmon you have.
Yeah.
We have a 3 protein product now, and it also has fruits and vegetables, and it's really a mix of everything put together.
Right.
And we have it for cats and we have it for dogs.
So now that's for dog. That's for because as much as I love, most dogs don't have allergies.
That's correct. That's
Right.
correct. They don't always need to be grain-free.
Right.
But I'm a firm believer, just like you, if you start off your dog with healthy ingredients,
Yeah.
you're going to just give the dog the optimum length of time in that breed.
Right.
If you give them good stuff all the way through,
Yeah.
you're just giving them a chance to live
Yeah.
to his breed length,
Yeah.
pretty much. I have a 16-year-old Golden at home.
How old?
16 years old.
Wow.
And we just put down a 16-year-old Basset. They've always been on a
I've
natural
never heard
diet.
of a Basset living 16 years.
Oh,
That's
I know,
insane.
I know. And everyone says the same with the Golden.
Right.
12, 13 years
Right.
is breed
Right.
length.
Right.
But they've always been on a good, healthy, natural diet. And
Yeah.
I think that just given them everything in his body to live as long as he can.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer in it. And if you're out
you-
there, folks,
Are you getting another Basset?
we still have one. We did Basset Rescue for many
Oh, you
years.
did?
So
Oh, okay.
he was our last failure
Yeah,
because
yeah.
once it came in the house, we couldn't let it go.
Right.
So he's our last one. So we have one Basset and one Golden.
Yeah.
But folks, if you're out there, give them the healthy stuff right from the get-go, and you're just going to get the longevity out of your dog.
Right. There's one other thing that I want to ask you about. This is why I love talking to him. You use salmon meal in here first. In all yours, you use meal
Yes.
rather than the whole meat. And
Correct.
Please,
Actually,
please
you'll see
explain why.
You'll see it in both forms.
Right.
With meal is we use the salmon or chicken, let's say, as a protein. When you take the moisture out of it, the government says you must call it meal because you've done something to the product. So when you take all the moisture out of it and reduce it down, you got a pure protein now.
Right.
There's no water in it. So if you had a pound of chicken breast and reduced it down, now you can put a lot more protein per weight because there's no water in it. It's reduced down. And we also put it back in its natural form also in our ingredient list. So you're getting it 2 ways. You're getting a great super protein
Yeah.
without the water, and then again is its natural source.
Because I always have, I have, this is really important. You can go to Costco or some other place, pick up a bag of stuff that says salmon meal in it.
Correct.
You can also pick up yours that says salmon meal. Why is theirs $20 a bag and yours or mine or whatever is $40 or whatever a bag?
Well, the real difference is the way it's processed,
Right.
along with this. Look, for us in salmon, it can be processed 2 ways as a fish. You can use the natural variety, or you can use man-made chemical to process it.
Right.
We use only the natural ingredients to process the salmon, so it's
Right.
much healthier, but it costs more.
Right. And the way it's the quality of what goes in, and I like to use the
Yes.
analogy, you can buy steak that's $2.99 a pound, and you can buy steak that's $20 a pound,
Right.
right? Or Kobe, whatever, it's
Yeah.
$50 a pound, right?
Yeah.
So the better companies, and this is what's screwy about our government, the government will not let you put on there the quality of the salmon meal that you use.
That you
in
buy
there.
in the first place, right?
Right.
Same
Why?
as-
I don't know. I
I
don't
know,
know
me
who
neither.
makes up these rules. So this is not good for the consumer. The consumer can't see that your salmon meal is 94% digestible, and the other guy's is only 50% digestible.
Right.
And that makes the whole difference in the food. Is how
Yep.
digestible is the meal.
Right, and the cost on the back end because a lower
Obviously.
grade is cheaper.
Right.
Yep.
So they call a better one is called a low ash meal. When they cook it and they take the moisture out, there's less ash.
Yes.
So the higher ash is the stuff that you find in the lower end foods, and you look at that label and it looks like your label, but it ain't your label.
Right.
It's a huge difference.
Yep.
So now, even you even came out with all these biscuits and stuff, which are, right? We sell tons of them.
Oh yeah, like we have a living ingredient line of foods, but we also came out with our healthy bone line,
Yep.
which is a whole different line. It's not grain free,
Yep.
but it's using really healthy grains as a mix to give your dog
Yep.
just a great variety of fruits and vegetables.
Yep.
We do use proteins in it. This one has lamb in it, lamb and carrot, but it's great proteins along with great vegetables. Mostly, there is some fruits
But
in it
there
too.
is no wheat. So
That's
the
correct.
big deal for me is grain-free.
And it's baked.
You know what? Between me and you, when did they decide that all grains are bad and that potatoes are better than grains?
Whoever does good marketing.
Right. So my customers are sick of me hearing that, but
Yep.
it's whoever does good marketing.
That is correct.
Now, we are running out of time. We have to. Is it time to say goodnight, Dick? All right. Okay. So anyway, this has quinoa in it. I love quinoa.
Yes.
It's my favorite, which is not a grain, by the way.
No, it's not.
All right. Say goodnight, everybody. Say
Nice
goodnight,
meeting
Mark.
you, folks. If you have any questions, come to one of the stores. Look for Dave. Look for the demonstrators. Myself. If you're coming into this store, I'll be happy to answer any questions on dog food.
He's leaving right here, and he's going to get a haircut. Good night, everybody.
Good night.